Welcome back to Alan Your Hero, and I just want to tell you guys, give you guys a warning for sex surrogate therapy. If you have been molested or raped, and it was by a guy that's a Christian, and a female that's a Christian, and that like held you down, and you had to go through this for like 5 years, um, you know, every night for 5 years, you never got any rest, you couldn't sleep because they was always bothering you. Um, Eventually, like when you were younger, so that was kind of my problem. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a warning, okay? A warning I wish I knew. Um, during my sex surrogate therapy sessions, I was very pure of heart, very pure, and I'm in a relationship, so I told my lady everything. I wanted to be open and honest. That's just like the website said for my person that I was with. That station for St. Louis area. So I ended up messing up because I want to let you know your brain, you who's been molested, you who's been raped, you're for years on end, and now you're finally getting help to reclaim your sexuality. Your brain is different. Okay? Your brain is different from everybody else's brain. You are thinking, like for me, I was just following instructions. I was following instructions. I was trying to go into the next step of the process. I was trying to pass milestones and make these breakthroughs so I can reclaim my sexuality as a man and in my relationship. In whatever relationship and whoever I'm with in the future. Okay? The warning is this. You don't say anything. Don't tell your partner anything, because I'm going to tell you what happened. I told my partner everything. I told her everything. I thought a guy specifically had a problem in the area of, one, orgasming, because my sex surrogate therapist was able to orgasm out of a way that I told her that I was able to make my lady orgasm. I was looking for validation in that, knowing that that's something that I can do, and it helped. My sex surrogate therapist was very helpful. She asked permission for everything, and no matter how good your intentions are or how pure your heart is, okay, what happened was that when I told my lady about this, we ended up arguing about this for 3 days this weekend. Our whole weekend was gone from 8 a.m. on Friday till nighttime on Friday till 8 a.m. again as soon as we woke up on Saturday, till nighttime on Saturday, till in the morning again today on Sunday, until about in the middle. Okay? Now what happened was that I was totally devastated. My woman I told my sex surrogate therapist, hey, this is my phone, this is my new phone number, this is me, this is A1 Your Hero, I'm wanting to talk to you about what's going on, and try to update her. Well, what happened is that my woman decided to use, instead of using her phone to contact her, she decided to use my phone because she would suspect that my sex surrogate therapist would answer with my phone, which she did. And I'm suspecting that she thought it was me, but it was like a rude awakening for her, because why would my lady be using my phone to contact her? So she was upset. My lady was upset and about the fact of her orgasming, and she went in the room privately. Now I was out in the open, but when my woman decided to talk to my sex surrogate therapist, she did it privately, but I was open about everything. But she does things with her, it was privacy. But I want to let you know that my woman put her on speakerphone, and I had to hear my sex surrogate therapist say, I'm going to remove myself. And I spent Everything that I tried to do was so pure. I'm talking, I never cheated. I never did nothing. I never did anything like that. I've never kissed another chick since I've been in a relationship for 8 years. I told the truth about everything. And I still ended up being really, really hurt. Because I believed that I was telling my woman my progress. I was keeping things very open. And I thought I had that trust and that communication in my relationship enough to say everything. Okay? But I was wrong. Okay? Even if you're tell the truth about everything for 8 years like I did, there are things that your significant other will not understand what you're going through with molestation and rape, and trying to overwrite those memories with your sex surrogate therapist. They will not understand the complications. All they will see is, all they see is what they're telling you. They want you to listen to them, but they don't listen to you. Okay? Here's the thing. I was depending on my sex surrogate therapist's professionalism. I was listening to everything she said. I was focusing on everything that she was saying. If things were to be confidential and to not be shared, people like us who are pure, who try to be as open as possible and tell the truth about everything, so that there's trust built, just to let our partners know that we're not doing anything wrong. People like us, we ended up getting hurt, okay, by doing that, because they cannot. Our significant others who have a normal brain with no PTSD, they cannot understand us. They can't. Only people like us understand us. Okay? And I just want to tell you guys, this is what I recommend. So my warning is to not say anything. Keep everything confidential, hide it, don't say anything. It's not going to go the way you think. I thought by telling my woman that, hey, look, I'm making progress, I was able to make my sex surrogate therapist orgasm like you. I tweaked it. I learned some new techniques, and I did. I came to her with the new techniques I learned. I was open, I was honest, I did everything that way. But I ended up extremely deeply hurt because my sex surrogate therapist gave up on me. Because of the complications of me staying and me trying to trust my girlfriend. And it didn't turn out the way I was seeing it in my head, the purity of heart that I was bringing. I'm stuck. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to see. And the thing is that they was telling me, oh, there's the other ones that's probably better. And then guess what? There isn't. They searched. They looked. She looked. My mom looked. No. My sex surrogate therapist for St. Louis, Kendra, she was the only one. She was super nice for me. She did everything right for me, asked me everything, gave me compliments, made me feel safe, made me feel comfortable with my issues, and worked through them. I am extremely sad that she decided, you know what is crazy? After my lady saw how hurt I was about that I just literally saw my only chance to become normal. I never thought I was ever going to be able to get fixed. I never thought I was ever going to be able to find a hands-on sex surrogate therapist to actually go through the exposure methods that worked, that my molester did, and actually rewrite them with love rather than pain, rather than suffering and like no hope. She was able to rewrite them with love and passion and caringness and safety, which is what I needed, which was working. But your significant other while you're going through that, they won't hear you about what's working. They won't. But after my lady saw how broken I was about it, she sent Kendra an email, sent my sex surrogate therapist an email. No, not email, sent her a text message and a voicemail saying that I'm very sorry for, what I've caused, and I really want Aon, your hero, me, to be able to continue his sex therapy sessions, because it's very important to him and I want to see him heal. And if you can find it in your heart to keep his appointment, which my appointment was supposed to be on November the 2nd, 2019. So, if you can find it in your heart to do that and keep his session, I would really appreciate it. But she couldn't find it in her heart to do that. In fact, she talked it over with her man, and she said that I don't want to have to get my man involved, but I will if I have to. Then she had me look at an illustration of energy of downward spiral and upward spiral. And in order for her to feel safe and to keep her energy going with her clients correctly, she needed to back herself away from me, because what she tried with me didn't work for my relationship. But I always really wanted it to work for me. If it worked for me, I could fix my relationship. I just put too much trust in my relationship. I was expecting happiness. I was expecting Aon God to being open with me. I was expecting from my lady that she would be proud of me for being open and for sharing this stuff with her and for showing her the progress I'm making. But in the end, that's not what it's going to feel like. It's not going to feel like that. It's going to hurt a lot. I was expecting the professionalism of my sex surrogate therapist to come through. I was trusting her professionalism, meaning, like, if there was things, because I don't know, okay, our brain is different than a normal person's brain. So because I'm so pure, okay, and trying to do everything in such a pure-hearted way, they end up being so hurt. I was expecting her to tell me, through her expertise, since she's been doing this since 2007 and probably past that, as that's like the earliest blog I can see on her website that she's been doing this, and it's now 2019, so it's going on 2020 in like 2 months, because we're in October right now. So I was expecting from her to better help me, for her to say something like, okay, I want to look, this right here you can't share, or this session's going to have to be confidential because they're not going to understand. You know how helpful that would have been for me? You know how long I had to wait for my freaking appointments? I had to wait once a month. And I had to go through all this after effects after my sessions for my brain to rewire itself of what worked and what didn't and what problems I had. And I had breakdowns. I had the breakdowns of healing, because the hardest part about it was when something got fixed, you had to admit to yourself, and there's no way you can escape it, because something got fixed, that meant that something was broken. And you had to come to grips with that. And that was a hard thing to do. Or if you have a flashback, you have to redo it. Or if you don't pass, or if there's not enough time, you have to redo it. Okay? So, as a warning and as advice for sex surrogate therapists, what you feel is something that's not shareable because other people, they won't understand, please tell them to keep it confidential. It's so important, because I don't want no one to feel hurt like me and lose out on such a great opportunity that's once in a lifetime, like I did. because now she said I have to make big life changes, and there's a boy on YouTube that they had a video. He was small, like I was, and he was raped and molested by a guy, like I was. I don't know if he was a Christian or not, like mine was. I don't know if he was held down. I think other people was involved, like with me too. I had a woman involved, a Christian woman. She was involved, holding me down while the Christian guy did what he did. Okay, and she was involved for like the first year, and then like she also started it off too. And then eventually, I just had to deal with the guy, and then sometimes her helping him. But there's a boy on YouTube that's just like me, kind of like that, okay? And he's going to need my help. He's going to need these videos. He's going to need to see this, because this is going to affect him when he gets older too. So my warning for sex surrogate therapy is don't say anything. Keep everything confidential. It's not, even if you got the purest heart, you're open, you never cheated on your girl, you've been with her for 8 years like I've been, and stuff like that, like, don't do it. Because I didn't get a second chance. Like, my sex surrogate therapist forgot to schedule me, especially she was going through some things on her own, and I went through this breakdown of feeling like a monster. Like, I wasn't anything. Like, she noticed something on my second session and she didn't tell me. Like, I had all these hidden things in my head, because it's an emotional roller coaster ride, and when you're in there, it's safe and everything, but then you have to go through this mental stuff afterwards. The healing begins. The healing starts at your session, and then the mental healing begins afterwards, where you're reflecting, and you're like quietly reflecting over what happened. So I asked her, I was like, look, Kendra, look, can I please, is it okay, can I please try again in the summer? I got lucky. And I don't know how serious she is. I got lucky. And she said, yes, I can try again in the summer after I make big life changes. I don't know what she means by that. By big life changes. All I know is that I worked it out with my girl, though, today, finally in the end. And we made big life changes, at least for each other. That when I start my stuff in the summertime, there will be no drama. There, I will save up money, and I will do my sessions twice a month instead of once a month. And we'll do couples counseling before that, and learn more about each other that way. And when the summer comes, I hope that she can accept the life changes that I've decided to make. I will tell her I've done couples counseling. I might even, to further help myself find what I've heard. Like, I saw on her Twitter one time, this guy, he ended up getting an escort to help him because a sex surrogate therapist was too far away. And this lady was, this escort he had was really nice. She helped him with whatever he needed. And so I'm going to have to supplement with that. And I have to call around. I don't even know how escort stuff works. But it worked for somebody else for what they needed to. And he found a nice one. So I hope I can too. But most of them say no black guys. So I'm kind of stuck with that. With that stigma. I mean, no black guys. At least that's what escorts say, most of them. So I gotta find the ones that's willing to work with me. But yeah, those are my warnings and those are my tips. Warning is, don't say anything. If you do, and if your girl causes any complications or your guy causes any complications, they might give up on you. You won't get a second chance. You might be able to forgive them for stuff that they've done, but they won't be able to might not be able to forgive you until a whole 3 seasons later. Because this is right now, I don't know if I'm in winter or fall. I think I'm in fall. This is October, so I guess fall. and I gotta wait until the summer. And my session was this week, today Sunday. My session where I could have had a breakthrough, I was about to get into the harder stuff and make real progress. The progress that I couldn't make with my own woman in certain sexual positions because of the certain sexual positions that I was forced to be in with my molester, my rapist and stuff. I was right there. To be honest, I was being open and honest, just like her website said. I really was. But it didn't work for me. And I don't want you to go through the same thing because it's devastating. I was hurt. I am hurt about how my situation is serious, but I'm not a bad person. I just needed help. And everything was working. What was working for me was ruined, y'all. And the only person in my area that does that does hands-on sex surrogate therapy, is the one I was with for St. Louis, the lady. And she listened. She gave me compliments. It made me feel safe. I was headed in the right direction, but now I have to wait a very long time. My woman decided that she does want me to continue. She saw how hard I am. We worked things out. We decided to make plans for each other so that each other feels included, each for each other. Because I guess she was feeling left out, she was working and things like that. So my warning is, don't say anything, okay? If you do, you could lose your sex surrogate therapist helping you. And I thought I lost her for good. Like she was done working with me forever. And I thought I was going to have to live like this forever. After finding a solution, after finding what works, because I was too pure. I was too open and honest. And I can't tell what's good to say, what's not good to say. Because my lady was the one that found Kendra. She was the one that found her and told me, this is really good for you. And it was too. It worked. It was. But there's just some things that they cannot handle, okay? That you need. They can't handle some situations that you need. That is for you. Don't say anything. Don't tell your partner. Keep everything confidential. And don't say anything personal over email. Don't say that what you loved about your sex surrogate therapist helping you and what you love that they did. Write it in a letter and give it to them in person. I'm begging you, man. Like, if you are an open person and you think that being open is the best thing for your relationship, it might not be. Like me. Don't test it. Don't test it, okay? Don't even try to do what I did. Don't. You will have the stabbing pain in your chest and in your gut. You will be crying. I mean, some guys want to call you a pussy or whatever, but I was crying. That's how bad it hurt. Because I was searching. I thought I was going to live the rest of my whole life never getting rid of, never overriding that molestation that I had to go through for 5 years straight. And it started with me when I was 8. Then it stopped because I was with my dad for a summer, and I went back with my mom. Then it started up when my dad got custody of me again at 12, and it didn't stop until I was 17, you guys. 17. And it messed up my sex life. And I thought I was going to be stuck like that forever and ever and ever, and die like that. But then I found Kendra Holiday. And she helped me. She gave me the second chance for the summer. So what I'm going to be telling her is, look, this is new for me. My heart is very pure. I don't hide anything or anything like that. So, what I will be doing is exactly like she said, make big life changes. And my big life change I'm going to be making, I will tell her what I need. Like, look, I can't share anything. Okay? I'm not going to share anything. You can do whatever you need to do. Orgasm, whatever you need to do. Help me orgasm, whatever you need to do. Okay? Because I'm following your progress. I'm dependent on your professionalism and your process. I'm following your process. I don't even, even if it's unprofessional, I mean, to me, she's very professional. But my advice is to let them know that. Like, my advice is don't say anything. And 2, tell them, if you are an open person and you're pure like me, tell them to tell you which sessions, like this session you can share, or what happened here at this part in this session you cannot share, because they want to understand. That would have been the most helpful thing for me, man. And I was expecting that from her because she's been doing this for so long. But she did say that my situation was pretty different and I was a different person. And my situation's not normally like her normal ones, okay? It's painful, and I wish I had her to work with right now. But I don't. So for you guys, don't do what I did. It's very painful and it hurts a lot. And it makes you sad a lot. It makes you lose your appetite. You might throw up at work. I'm serious, I threw up at work. I couldn't eat. It's hard to eat. Like, something that you really need is just gone. No matter how, and you wasn't even being a bad boy, you was being pure, honest, and everything. And you don't get that. You don't get that second chance. You gotta suggest, when can you give me another chance, and hope they say yes, but I can't start again until the summer. But turns out I ended up making big life changes early. But I'm going to do the sex couple therapy for couples, because over the phone, my sex surrogate therapist said that that's not her area of expertise, which is like dealing with couples and stuff like that. So I will do that. And I really hope that she accepts working with me again, because I hate this. I hate this feeling. I hate the memories of the smell on that guy's breath. It smelled like M&Ms, and like, I hated having to fake moan to make him happy so I wouldn't get hit. Like, I hate everything about that. And I have to live with this torment. Because my biggest fear before starting sessions with her was that, what if I start these sessions and then my girlfriend doesn't like something, or something bad happens, and then my session stopped right in the middle of me making progress, and then I don't get to finish, and now I'm open to all this memories, because now I'm open to all my molestation and stuff, and now I'm thinking about it a lot, okay? So I'm open to that, and instead of being able to fix it once a month like I was doing, I have to wait so long. It hurts so bad I can't even tell you guys. I can't convey it. But say that to your sex surrogate therapist to let you know which ones what you can share and what you can't share. Which sessions you can share and which sessions you cannot share. What situations in those sessions, like what particular parts, like if she orgasms or whatever, just take my lead. If you take each other's clothes off, don't talk about that. If she orgasms or you orgasm, don't talk about that. Don't talk about anything, just say you're uncomfortable with talking about it. Just say it's supposed to be confidential, and you will just see the results of my sessions when we have sex. And just let that be an indication of letting you know that it's working. Because you won't understand. Say that. I wish I had the guidance. And I looked for information to know. before I started my sessions. I looked. I couldn't find any. So I'm making this for you guys. And maybe even for myself, when I can look that back up again come summer and I find a video of myself saying this, reminding me, just in case I'm doubt I'm going to forget this. I tell you that, it hurts so bad. There's so much pain with this, I'm not going to forget this. I feel abandoned by my sex surrogate therapist so bad. I feel just abandoned. Sucks. But do those two things for me. In conclusion, 1, don't say anything about your sex surrogate therapy sessions to anyone. Keep it to yourself. And 2, if you're too pure to keep it to yourself, and you feel like you got a guilt trip, and you feel like you have to tell your significant other, please ask for your sex surrogate therapist to tell you what parts you can share and what parts not to share, just so you don't feel bad. Okay? So you don't ruin it. Have them decide. They have the expertise. Alright. I hope this helps. I know it's a 30-minute video, but it's hurt so bad. I do not want you guys to end up like me. Because they might not give you another chance. You might not get to wait till the summer. And all my intentions every single one of my intentions was pure of heart. And I was just showing that the sessions are working. But it was not received that way. Because our brains, us who's been molested and stuff like that, and raped and stuff like that, our brains are different. We think purely. In our relationships. We don't know what's wrong. We don't see what's wrong. We don't see what they can trip out about because we want them to trust us. We want our significant others to trust us, boyfriends or girlfriends to trust us. So we tell them everything to build that trust, and then it breaks that trust. Okay, do your best. And don't share anything. And if you have to share something, ask your sex surrogate therapist what you can and cannot share and which sessions are confidential. Goodbye.